This is your Intentional Faith video blog. Today I'm going to give you 3 things you should do during the coronavirus crisis. Hey everybody, it's your buddy Chef Jordan coming to you again from the studio here in the man cave. And today's March 23rd, 2020. And I don't know how last week went for you guys. The first week we were all hunkering down. And I hope it goes better than my week went. And I work out of the man cave. So it shouldn't have been that big of a deal, but it just seemed like everything was out of sorts last week. In fact, I wanted to have this blog that I'm getting ready to share with you. I wanted to have it done last Wednesday, but I kept having trouble with the audio recording software. Thank you, Audition, for nothing. And everything got delayed. So I've just decided to go ahead and video it because I know that works. So with all the insanity, my question is, how do you plan to make it through the next however many weeks or possibly months of this nonsense, this insanity? And maybe you're not quite sure what or whom to believe at this point. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is pure garbage. I'm betting you likely have some very important life events coming up, maybe graduation kind of thing, that may be in limbo at this point or may not even happen at all. Our son was supposed to get married June the 6th. We've had to move that back to August the 14th. By now, you've probably noticed your email inbox and social media feeds are blowing up with all kinds of advice, concerns, words of encouragement. I know mine are. So with all of this, what do you do now? Okay, I have 3 things that I think you can and should do to successfully navigate the uncertainty that lies ahead. 3 things. First one, don't panic. Okay, yeah, I know. Don't panic. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But I mean it. Here's how. You may recall a couple weeks ago, I did a blog on hope versus depression. And in that blog, I brought up the ancient Chinese general Sun Tzu, who said, "Therefore I say, know the enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles, you will never be in peril." All right, so who do you think the enemy is right now? Is it the coronavirus? Nope. The enemy right now is really panic. So what does panic look like? Well, how about this? How about 1,000-point swings in the stock market on multiple days? Looks like panic to me, or even better, no toilet paper to be found within a 50 to 100-mile radius. That is definitely panic. Because you see, panic doesn't ever take time to think rationally, does it? Panic just reacts, and typically out of fear. So you could say that panic is simply the outward manifestation of fear, and almost always that fear is fear of the unknown. We got a lot of that right now, don't we? It's a natural human emotion, but you know what? Emotions, even panic, can be managed. All right, here's the takeaway. You need to take personal responsibility for learning and knowing everything you can about what's going on in your world and in the rest of the world. You need to do this every day and maybe multiple times a day because there's so much information and a lot of it's changing quickly. So there's certainly no lack of information to be found. So you know what? Ignorance cannot be an excuse. The bottom line is, the more you know, the less likely you are to panic. Okay. Number 2, one of my favorites. During this time, you need to try to make chicken salad out of chicken. Yeah, that. You know what I'm talking about. It's at times like this my mom used to say, it's a character building experience, which used to aggravate me to no end because it's not what I wanted to hear. Growing up in my house, though, whining and complaining was not allowed, ever. And character building experiences were meant to be embraced for what they were, opportunities. Yes, opportunities to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger. I'm grateful now I'm grateful for growing up in that environment, even if I really didn't understand the value back then. But here's what it taught me. How well you weather any storm in life will depend largely on one thing, your attitude. That's right, your attitude. And you may feel like you don't have much control over your life right now. None of us do. I don't. It's a pretty scary feeling, isn't it? But consider this. You do have 100% control of your attitude, don't you? And as bad as this situation is and could get, the best way to move forward is not to sit around and dwell on how bad things are. So here's some things that maybe you should consider doing during this time. 1, stay active. Get off your daggone butt. Get outside, drink in that fresh air, take in the glory of God that is nature. Feed off of that. Get outside. Maybe you should start and finish those projects. I've got a few that you've been meaning to get to, but just couldn't quite get them finished. How about this? Reconnect with your family. There's these things called FaceTime, Skype. Ever heard of those? It makes it so easy. There's no excuse now. You've got the time. Reconnect with family. How about you start a new book or finish the one that you've been reading for 6 months but just can't quite finish? Get her done. This is a good one. Volunteer. Find a way to help others that may be worse off than you are. And you know what else that'll do? Besides helping others, it's going to take your mind off of your own miseries. Again, it's a twofer. So try that. And probably the most important thing, reconnect with your faith during this time. Yeah, reconnect with your faith. This could be the best time ever for you to finally start that devotional life that you've been meaning to get to and spending that quiet time with God every day. Oh my God, it's just so important. Reconnect. All right, here's the takeaway. In everything you do from this point on, be proactive. Proactive, not reactive. Whatever you do should have the goal of improving yourself either physically, mentally, or spiritually. If you do that, you're going to be amazed at the positive impact it has on your overall well-being and your mental health, which could be taking a huge hit right now. Right? Consider that. Get active, do positive things. All right, number 3, we just touched upon this, and it's the most important one of all. During this time, you need to re-engage your faith. Re-engage your faith. Up until this global crisis, I would have said that as a nation and a culture, we no longer possess the kind of strength that comes from the faith of knowing that God is with us and will see us through any circumstance, no matter how bad. Now, you might be saying, gosh, that's a pretty negative thing to say. Why would you say that? Well, because frankly, for most of us, and I include myself, we've had it way too easy for way too long. We become comfortable, complacent, and entitled. We just have. We haven't really needed to rely on the strength that comes from faith. Well, that is until now. Yeah. Now we're seeing just how little control we have over our lives. Now we are seeing how small and insignificant we really are in a universal sense. And now, more than ever, we are seeing just how much we need God in our lives. How much we need to embrace what Jesus did for all of us and let Him lead us forward. The odds are things are going to get worse before they get better, maybe a lot worse. But please, I implore you, keep the faith. Cling to the hope that God is with us no matter what. You may have setbacks, big ones. You may suffer loss, tragic ones. Your life may take a different path at this point, but in spite of all that, put your faith in the God who is the lover of your soul. He's got you. He's got me. He's going to see us through this. So consider this. Has there ever been another time in your life when you needed something more than just relying on your own strength? I bet not. Here at Intentional Faith, our primary goal since day one has been to help you grow a deeper, stronger faith. And now you know why. For times like these. So here's the takeaway. During this time of great uncertainty, my pledge to you is that we will continue to provide you the tools and encouragement to help you reconnect and stay engaged with your faith. If there was ever a time to do just that, it is certainly right now. All right, one final thought, and I have to go back to my mama, and I want to leave you with another one of her pearls of wisdom that frequently followed her "It's a character building experience" comment. She would say to us, just remember, this too shall pass. And so it shall. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray for you. I pray for all of us. I pray for the whole world. But God's got this. Yeah. All right. Did want to let you know that we are now on TikTok. Some of you are familiar with that. And I can assure you that I will not be twerking half naked on TikTok. We're going to keep providing you messages of hope and faith and encouragement. So I just want to let you know that. All right, friends, until next time, may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times, and in every way, the Lord be with all of you. God bless you and yours. Stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith. We'll see you next time.